And good evening and welcome, race fans. We're back here with LSRL in the Wilder Graphix Xfinity series. We're here tonight at the Monster Mile, Dover Speedway. Up in the booth, as always, on these wonderful Wednesday nights is Rachel Thornhill. Welcome, Rachel.
Hi, Ronald. How are you?
Doing pretty well. Just waiting for the time to tick on down here. So we can get into some green flag racing. Oddly enough, I just was on this racetrack last night, so should be kind of interesting.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I actually remember watching that race, actually broadcasting it, and yeah, it was a really good race. So, um, I'm interested to see how these cars do. I mean, I know you guys were in the 87 cars, so they handle a little bit differently, but hopefully these guys can keep it, clean and green for most of the race.
I would think so. As we head into this new week of racing, we just came off of Bristol Motor Speedway, where Derek Garrison took the win there at Bristol. Anthony Giuliano took second, and Joseph Murata took third. Missing a couple of those drivers here tonight. I don't see Anthony here in the room yet. We'll see if he does make it before time elapses, which should be here, I believe, in about 2 minutes. But Joseph is here, and unfortunately, it doesn't look like Derek Garrison is here. So, looking at the points, looks like Joseph Murata has finally caught and passed Cameron Hearn for the points lead. Leonard Frost is currently sitting in third. Cameron Hearn still sitting in second, but missing another race here. I think he'll possibly lose that second place to Leonard Frost. Aaron Hearn is here. He's fourth in points. Dylan Gonis fifth. Anthony Giuliano sixth. Brandon Murray in seventh. Brandon Thornhill eighth. Craig Sassamon ninth, and Craig Goodenough 10th. So there's your top 10 in points. It's been an interesting season, kind of up and down. Quite a few different drivers winning here more recently than we have had at the front part of the season. So be kind of should be a good night for these guys out here.
Yeah, I agree. And then you also have few guys that they did not race last week. So you have Andy Brigante, and then you also have Eric Casper. He wasn't here last week. So, but then you also have Landon Quisenberry, who has actually really shocked us. To say that he hasn't really been racing on iRacing for very long. He's been running really well.
I can agree with that. It's been pretty interesting to see his abilities and whatnot as we finish up the practice session and get ready to head into qualifying. Qualifying has officially begun. A little bit of a smaller field again. Looks like roughly about 10 cars. We'll see how many cars actually do grid up once qualifying has completed. Go ahead and watch Aaron Hearn turn a lap here and see what he can put down for lap time.
Looks like Landon Quisenberry also just came out on track as well.
Go ahead and stay with Aaron for now, and then we'll switch over to Landon when Aaron completes his lap. We'll get I believe Aaron was the first one out. So we'll see here momentarily. And posting a time of 23:190. Here comes Landon for his first lap. Like he drove it a little too deep into the corner. He got off the corner well. I don't know if that's going to be a top spot. That puts him into second position. And those are... Here comes the fifth qualifier. I think Jeffrey Converse is going to give it a go here.
You also have Eric Casper that's currently in third, and then you have Joseph Murata in fourth.
One thing we learned last night, now the cars are completely different, so as the 96 actually touches the wall, this lap will not count. So he'll have to try to do a little cleaner exit on corner 2 on his second lap. This will be his last chance to put down a qualifying lap. Last night we figured out that you could qualify, you could run the car really hard, but by doing that, you really hurt the tires. These cars have never been quite like that, so I think we'll see a different race kind of unfold tonight than what we saw in the 87 cars last night. Converse actually was quick enough to put it up on the fourth position, and we have about 2 minutes left here in qualifying. I'm gonna step away for just a moment. I'm gonna mute my microphone, and if I'm gonna talk to fans about anything, I just need to get up real quick and change something real quick, and I'll be right back.
It looks like our current 5 cars that have put down qualifying laps, it doesn't look like anyone else plans on qualifying. Um, Corey Tuggle, Andy Brigante is actually out on track now, but we'll see if he's able to complete a full lap before time runs out. And he's able to put in a time, currently in 6th position with a 23.636.
Sorry about that. I am back.
All right. Yeah. So Andy Brigante was able to actually put in a lap right before qualifying ends. So that puts him in the 6th position. So we only have 6 cars on the field that actually qualified.
Got that. So give us just a minute. We'll get the cameras where they're supposed to be. We'll get some eyes on the drivers out there, and then we'll go ahead and bring up the qualifying order. Alright, looks like the majority of our drivers are lining up. Pole sitter's still not out there yet, but he should be probably shortly. So here we go. Going to be rolling off in the pole position as long as he actually gets in the car here in the next couple of minutes or a couple seconds, whatever. Aaron Hearn, Landon Quisenberry does take the outside pole. Rolling off third will be Eric Casper. Fourth will be Jeffrey Converse. Fifth will be Joseph Murata. Sixth will be Andy Brigante. Seventh will be Leonard Frost. Eighth will be John Wollum. Ninth will be Corey Tuggle. And 10th will be Andrew Saucier. That's going to be your grid for this evening. Does look like Aaron Hearn got into the car there before it actually before time expired. Getting ready to roll out a pit road. Could be an interesting night of racing here.
Yeah, if it's anything like their practice session, it's definitely going to be interesting. From what it looks like, we only have 8 cars on the track. John Woolham didn't grid, so.
Copy that. Well, pace car is off. Aaron Hearn is going to be leading us to the green flag. We'll be waiting on the green flag to come out here. Green flag is out. He almost spins it sideways. Landon Quisenberry gets a very good restart because of it. So we know that tire spin can be an issue here.
Right, and you've got Jeffrey Converse that was on the outside of Aaron Hearn. Unfortunately, that restart, cost Aaron some time because Landon's pulling away. You've got Leonard Frost that just ended up falling back, actually. That would have been the number 155 of Andrew Saucier that got around him, which moves Andrew into the 8th position. And Andrew accidentally hit the wall, so that slowed him down, and now you've got Leonard Frost that's taken that position back.
Corey Tuggle currently in the 7th position. Looks like he's already had some contact with the wall based off of the crease I see on the right front fender. Andy Brigante is currently 6th. Joseph Murata currently 5th. Eric Casper working his way up to 4th. Looks like he's closing in the gap a little bit on Jeffrey Converse. Jeffrey Converse in 3rd there. Aaron Hearn in 2nd. And Landon Quisenberry out in front.
It looks like they've pretty much gotten themselves spread out, like towards the back. Corey Tuckle's actually coming down pit road right now.
See if he needs to get some kind of repair or if this may be a night-ending issue. I don't see it there. He's getting some tires. We go back up front. Landon Quisenberry out in the lead. Aaron Hearn currently in second place. Jeffrey Converse still in third. Eric Casper was a little closer to Jeffrey Converse, but it looks like he's fallen back. I don't see any major damage on his car, though. Check on Corey Tuggle. He's coming off pit road right now. A little bit squirrely.
Yeah, you also have Andrew Soche that's on pit road as well, but he probably came down for damage because he did hit the wall earlier when he was battling with Leonard Frost. So.
So 2 cars down pit road. Looks like Corey Tuggle's back down pit road again. Something just not right with this car, I don't think. Quisenberry continuing to lead. He's got almost a second gap over second place. The battle for second is kind of warming up here.
Right. I mean, you've got Jeffrey Converse pretty much trying to drop to the inside of Aaron Hearn, actually clears him. So that moves him up to second and Hearn back to third. I'm not sure if there's something going on with Hearn because Hearn's just constantly losing time. So I don't know if there's anything possibly wrong with his car, but he's been falling off the pace quite a bit between him and Quisenberry.
And something's going on here. Corey Tuggle down pit road. Andrew Saucier down pit road. I don't know if they made mistakes and they had to come back down, but they both come back down pit road again. So very interesting, but Landon Quisenberry out in front. Jeffrey Converse is actually closing the gap, though. It was 1.2 seconds. He has it down to about 0.8 of a second. Cameron Hearn is following. Looks like Joseph Murata is making a move on Eric Casper. Casper falling off now. Murata moving forward. Here comes Andy Briganti as well. He looks like he's moving up and might make a challenge here on the 166. The 96 car really coming on strong right now.
That was a close one. Andy Brigante and Casper almost had some contact. Casper got kind of loose coming up, so but Brigante was able to get around him, and now he's closing in on Murata.
Quisenberry overdrove the corner, got into the wall. That's going to allow Jeffrey Converse to make his way around. Aaron Hearn follows him. Quisenberry will fall back into the third position. He hit more of the rear of the car than the front of the car, so I don't think that there's going to be a lot of damage that hurts him speed-wise. Just needs to get some confidence back in the car. As Joseph Murata is slow now. Here comes Andy Briganti underneath him. So a few people trading spots back and forth here. There's a good battle here for the third and fourth position. Or sorry, it is the fourth position. Joseph Murata and Andy Brigante. As they come off turn 2, Brigante will clear Murata. Murata touch the wall again. Seems like a pretty common theme here. A lot of people tagging the wall off turn 2. Light tagging, no big deal. You get it too hard and it'll spin that car pretty hard.
Right, and unfortunately for Andrew Soche, that's what happened with him. But he ended up hitting the wall too hard, and unfortunately, it's put him on pit road for quite some time because right now he's being scored at 7 laps down.
Yeah, 7 laps down. They are Corey Tuggle and Andrew are both back out on track. So Leonard Frost is now going to try to battle Eric Casper for the 6th position. Joseph Murata just in front of them. Andrew. I'm so used to saying Andrew. Andy Brigante is up to 4th. Quisenberry is still in 3rd position after tagging the wall. Aaron Hearn has fallen back again, about a second off of Jeffrey Converse. Something tells me that this is one of those tracks where the 96 car may have circled this race and been like, yeah, I definitely need to be here for this because it looks very good out there. I know we're missing some of our normal drivers that are here each and every week. We're probably going to have a caution.
Yes, there is a caution
The
right now.
155. There's something wrong with the with Toggle and
Oh,
with the 155.
155 just hit that inside wall. So that might have been what.
Yeah, but they're struggling. Like I watched the 155. The car's really loose. They're getting down on the apron, getting loose out on the track in different areas. So I don't know. Yeah,
Um,
he caught the apron and then he came off of two. He caught the apron again, got sideways. Back of the car came around and then he hit the inside wall, outside wall, and then back down into the inside wall right in front of the leaders. So that is why the caution came out, folks.
right, and he's down pit road right now, and Corey Tuggle has taken it to the garage. He's no longer on on the track.
All right, and we'll be back here in just a moment.
I just saw it.
Sorry about that, folks. Thought we were back and we're not. Green flag has waved. Jeffrey Converse is out in front. Andy Brigante is in second. Leonard Frost is now up to third. He's going to fight with Eric Casper, Aaron Hearn, Landon Quisenberry, and Joseph Murata. That's going to be the main battle here on the track.
Yeah, you've got Aaron Hearn. He was right behind Casper, but then ended up going to the high side. So you still got Casper to the inside of Hearn, trying to battle him, but I don't know, he's just not able to really get that run on him. You got Aaron Hearn to the inside of Leonard Frost, and actually clears him to move up to that third position. And Eric Casper drops low to the inside of Leonard Frost, trying to get a run on him. Looks like he's going to clear him. Yeah, he clears him, and that puts him up into the fourth position. But you've got Landon Quisenberry that's not far behind him.
Everybody kind of making their way around that number 11 here. Joseph Murata, the last one, so to speak, here on the lead lap, fighting with the 11 car, going to try to take him through turn 2. Does so, pulls up in front of him, and we'll go back to the front as Aaron Hearn has driven pretty hard to get from where he was during that restart. I think his dive into the inside here on Converse. Aaron Hearn pulls out in front of the 96 now. The question will be, how will the tires hold up after going at it the way that he did? Aaron Hearn pulling away from the 96 by quite a bit here.
Yeah, that's the only thing, is if he's actually burning up his tires by running as hard as he is. Because earlier he was, it just seemed like he just wasn't able to really get the car to run very fast, because to me he kept falling back positions. So I'm not sure, what changed now, but hopefully he's not burning his tires up to where he doesn't end up, slowing down, and then Converse can actually close that gap.
Well, only time and some laps will tell, but does look like the 24 there just got up into the wall pretty hard, but he was able to keep it straight, so we will stay green.
Right. Unfortunately, he lost. He was in third, and he ended up moving. Now he's back into the sixth position.
Cars running all over, different lines in and off of the corners. Aaron Hearn moving up into that number 1 position, starting to pull away here. He's got a 1.3 second gap now over Jeffrey Converse. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to tell. Sometimes people take off and you think they're going to go burn their tires up, and they just don't. They find something that really works really well, and they just don't burn their tires up. And then other times people go out there and run too hard, burn the tires off of it, and fall way back. So we'll see which one it is as the laps continue to tick upwards towards 125. I'm noticing that, Jeffrey Converse was pretty good on the long run on that first run. He kind of seemed to be the better long run car. So we'll see if Aaron is more of the short run and then it's going to fall back. Because I felt like that was kind of what happened on the first run. Felt like Aaron ran okay, but then kind of fell back. We'll see if that's, if that holds to be true, or if that was just something that I guess basically just happened, or what. But he looks pretty decent out there. Looks like the car's a little free getting into the corner, maybe a little bit free coming off. So you got to be a little cautious on the accelerator. But that should, I mean, generally when the car is that free, it doesn't burn the tires up really bad.
It looks like Andy Brigante has fallen back all the way to 7th. Leonard Frost got around him, so I'm wondering if him hitting that wall has possibly, you know, that damage, if that's what's holding him back.
Very well could be, because we've seen everybody that's gotten into the wall basically have to go pit and then get damage repaired from what we've seen, because Andrew did it and Corey did it. They both hit the wall and they both ended up going to the pits. Corey Tuggle, you know, he retired. Andrew Saucier stayed out or stayed in and got his repair done by staying on pit road through the green flag run, came back out, currently running 23 laps down, but he is back out on the racetrack. Aaron Hearn still up front, but I think the hard run at the beginning is now coming. He's going to pay the price. He was at 1.8 seconds just a couple laps ago. Now he's at 1.2 seconds. So I think smooth and easy is the name of the game tonight. Jeffrey Converse seems to be smooth and easy. Guys were kind of, you know, catching up to him from behind. Landon, Joseph, those guys, they were all catching him, and now they're all maybe not so much Joseph, but Landon is definitely falling off the pace here as Joseph ducks the inside off turn 4. No contact down the front stretch, and it looks like Joseph may take that position.
Right,
Leonard
you've
Frost
got
ducks
Leonard Frost
underneath.
right behind
Yep.
him.
So it's a 2 for 1 there, and back up to the front. Aaron Hearn trying to hold on to it. You can tell he can't keep the car down, but he's struggling trying to keep it down.
I just realized Eric Casper has really fallen off the pace. He is actually in 7th behind Brigante. Brigante was actually the last car on the lead lap. So I'm not sure. I don't think he has any damage on his car, so I'm not sure what could be the case.
Take a look at the front of the car. Yeah, he's got a lot of right side damage, but he definitely got up into the wall. Up front, Aaron Hearn has all but been caught here. About 0.3 of a second. Jeffrey Converse is behind him. I definitely don't see that being... yeah, Jeffrey just getting into the corner so much better. Jeffrey definitely attacking the corner much more aggressively than the 91 is. He's going to dive underneath. I think the 91 knew that he was faster and just kind of let him go. I think we're going to see a similar situation here where the 96 is going to start to pull away, and if we stay green, he'll probably just kind of end up in a whole different zip code by the end of the race.
Right, I actually agree. You know, as long as he doesn't run his tires hard and he kind of just takes it easy, he should be able to do that. I'm not sure what their pit windows are, but I mean, we are on lap 48. So
I'd say that it was probably a one-stop race after that caution. So somewhere between now and 125, you're going to see him come down for some new tires and some fuel, as long as there's no caution. The big question will be who's going to come when. You know, do you want to come early and run a long run on one set of tires? Do you want to come in later? You know, a guy like Aaron Hearn, he's pretty much going to have to just convince himself that he's probably a second place car tonight. Leonard Frost is 2 seconds back. 2 point. Actually, it's 1.9 seconds back now. So, if Aaron Hearn takes care of his car here and can keep that distance, he's probably looking at a second place finish tonight. If nothing changes, if he makes no mistakes, and he can just kind of settle down here, run this, and then go in and get some tires. But anything can happen here. Somebody could get in the wall. Jeffrey could get in the wall. Leonard could get in the wall. Aaron himself could get in the wall. And then everything changes.
Right. I mean, we saw that earlier. And obviously, if they get into the wall, I mean, it really affects them. Because, I mean, we've seen it with quite a few drivers tonight so far.
Joseph Murata. Actually, we'll just look at all the cars. Jeffrey Converse out in front. You can see that right front fender is not damaged. Aaron Hearn, same. He has not gotten up there and damaged the right front. Leonard Frost, same. No damage on that right front. Brendan Quisenberry, you can see damage on his right front, kind of down the side of the car, kind of as he pitches in the corner. You can see some scrapes down the side. And he's probably going to have, if we look from the rear, just do the regular chase and see. Well, and the 155, yep, 155 is down. He's still going, but he was down on the apron. And he's smoking really bad, so he hit something pretty hard. I think he's going to try to, hopefully he can make it to the pit road here, because if he ends up stopping on the backstretch, that will bring out a caution.
Right. I did see where he hit the cone, because cone flew. So
the 155 is probably going to retire it for the night. Jeffrey Converse, after 56 laps, not quite halfway through, is your leader. You can see there 1.5 seconds back to Aaron Hearn. Aaron Hearn's kind of settled in. He's 1.5 seconds back, but he's 1.5 seconds in front of Leonard Frost now. 1.5 seconds doesn't look like a lot on the track, but it's tough to make that up, especially on old tires. Brendan Quisenberry is 4.5 seconds back. He's 1.6 seconds back from third. Joseph Murata is 8 seconds back. He's 3.5 seconds back off of Quisenberry. Brigante is on the same lap as Mr. Murata is, and he ducks down low, but it's not going to stick. Eric Casper, 12 seconds back, 3.9 seconds back from those two, and Andrew has taken it to pit road to try to get repaired. Well, I'm sure he'll be sitting there waiting for a while to try to get that damaged. Anytime a car is smoking like that, it's usually a significant amount of damage to the front end, so probably going to take him probably 15 minutes or so to get that damage fixed. Converse now pulling out to a 1.8 second lead. Seems like Converse and Frost are running just a little bit faster than Hearn. Hearn in front of Frost now by just a half a tenth. So Frost is getting closer and closer.
right. For some reason, Aaron Hearn just gets slower and slower, because I noticed, like, you said he was 1.9 seconds back. Now he's like 2.7 seconds back. So he just keeps falling, off the pace.
Yeah, I think he burned the tires up early. He went out there pretty hard and charged around everybody. Went up there, took the lead, and now you can see him struggling to get off the corner, which tells me the car won't turn. You see Frost turn underneath him and start to pull away. Quisenberry's been making up some good time too. He's starting to close in on Aaron Hearn now. He's only 1 second back, so looks like Aaron Hearn might be in a little bit of trouble here. Well, he's trying to fight with the 11.
Yeah,
They're
he's going to
basically
the
side by
inside.
side. He's going to fight and take second place back from the 11 car. As we get ready, well, basically we're halfway through this race now, so now it's just a matter of who's going to finish where. Jeffrey Converse is out into a whole different area of the racetrack all to his own. He is coming through 3 and 4, just coming out of 4. He hits the start finish line. I'll go ahead and hit the Aaron Hearn is just now coming out of 4, so it's probably just about a straightaway that Aaron Hearn is behind. Here comes the 11 diving down to the inside of Hearn.
Yeah, but look at Landon Quisenberry has closed that gap between him and Aaron Hearn.
Yeah,
So
with those guys running
becoming...
side by side, it's gonna. Anytime the two cars get side by side like that, neither one of them can really drive as hard as they really want to. And Quisenberry's gonna come up on the back of the both of them now. Gonna have to be. He's gonna have to be careful here because you don't wanna. You don't want to get 3 wide or anything like that.
Right.
11 just got in the wall pretty hard again. Don't think that the 11's going to have the car to come back to the front without going and getting some tires, but I could be wrong. Take a look at the front of his car and see if he damaged the right front. Yeah, a little bit of damage, not horribly. So Landon Quisenberry takes over 3rd position. Aaron Hearn fought to keep his 2nd place running order out there right now. So, but 5.7 seconds out in front of these guys is the number 96 of Jeffrey Converse. And they are running 25-second lap times, so he's about a 1/5 of a lap in front of these guys when he gets a quarter lap. Basically a straightaway or a turn.
Right. You got Landon Quisenberry that's actually battling Aaron Hearn for that 2nd position. And Landon actually clears him, but you also got Leonard Frost that drops to the inside of Aaron Hearn too. So so they both passed him, so that moves Leonard Frost up into 3rd. But Aaron's still he's still trying to battle Leonard as much as possible, because I noticed he's been trying to like keep that position and run him down, but it just seems like I don't think he has the tires. He just keeps falling back.
Well, the question becomes, when do you pit? Because we went back green somewhere right around.
Caution is out. I don't know if that's a stage caution or...
I'm gonna guess it's a stage caution.
That would be the only thing I could think of. Because I see Eric Casper on pit road, but other than that, I didn't see anybody like wreck. So
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
he came down pit road on his own. They were still running around because he's being shown 3 laps down.
Okay.
So
So then
I
that would
guess
be
maybe
stage.
it was a stage caution. I'm not positive, but maybe it was a stage caution.
Looks like probably everybody will come down pit road. I'm pretty sure. At least most of them would. Well, actually, I take that back. Leonard Frost stayed out.
That's interesting. Maybe it'll lead a lap or something.
Right? Eric Casper, is back on the track from being on pit road. And yeah, so unless, yeah, like you said, maybe Leonard Frost just wants to do one lap and then come in, or he might, I don't know how long he plans on staying out.
A very good question. Not sure, but I assume we're going to see him come down pit road here. And then there's just no way that you're going to stay competitive on old tires. He does pull down pit road. So maybe it was to lead a lap, or maybe it was to do something else. I'm not sure, but he comes down pit road, so he will. It's kind of interesting too, because he had a little bit of damage from hitting the wall. Would have been interesting, or I guess maybe in his better interest to come down the first time, get as much damage repaired as possible, then come down the second time and get some more. This was only going to allow him probably to get one chance to do any kind of damage repair and try to get that car fixed to the best of the pit crew's abilities. The 166 will get the wave around. I'm almost sure of that. Leonard Frost still sitting on pit road, getting as much of that damage repaired as possible. As they cross the start-finish line, the 166 will more than likely get the wave around. He'll go around. He'll get one of his 2 laps back that he's down, and if there happens to be another caution, he would possibly be a lucky dog candidate.
Right. And this was possibly a stage caution, so I don't know if they're going to have another one before the end of the race. So, that could be something, that he could keep in mind. But I did notice that on pit road, Andy Brigante stayed on pit road a lot longer um, than the rest. So I'm thinking he probably got damage fixed. But Joseph Murata also stayed on pit road. He was the last one to leave pit road. So I don't know if he had damage to his car that he was trying to get fixed, or
Yeah, everybody at this point, with the exception of the 2 cars at the front of the field, had damage on their right front. So, but it didn't. I mean, long term, long run speed didn't really seem to affect that much, because Quisenberry has a pretty significant damage to his right front, but yet it didn't really seem to do that much to his long run speed. Short run maybe, but we still have basically 50 laps to go when they drop the flag here. Waiting on the 96 to go. Watch for tire spin here. There is a chance for tire spin. Nobody luckily, and with the banking at this track, usually the car just turns sideways, it goes right to the outside wall. So luckily nobody spins the tires. We'll see what the 91 does here. I think it's going to be interesting to watch the 91. That first run, he went hard, he went after it. I think it'd be interesting to see if he kind of follows the 96 and just stays with him, saves a little bit of tire, or if he's just, when an opening is there, if he goes after it and passes him and tries to drive away like he did last time.
right. And it looks like Landon Quisenberry he's closing that gap between him and Hearn as well. So we'll see if he's able to catch up to Hearn, and then possibly all 3 of them will battle this out. So.
Oh, here comes Hearn. He's going to go ahead and make that move. Question is, how hard will he push it? I think
Right. I mean, that's the main thing is if, because he's had issues with tire fall off, and so and Converse has been pretty good about not wearing out his tires.
he lets Hearn go. He lets Quisenberry go. 50. There was 50 laps to go, so I mean, it's a long run again. Probably the longest run that they're gonna have tonight. I'm pretty sure they can make it on fuel. I mean, I could be wrong, but I would think that they can make it the rest of the way on fuel. Only 45 laps, and yeah, Hearn has opened it up to 1.6 over Converse, but just a half a second over Quisenberry. I think he's been proving it all night. Converse has been the long run guy. I think if I had to pick, I'm gonna say that Converse is gonna let these guys pull away and burn up their stuff, and he's gonna come back when their tires fall off.
Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen too. I mean, we've kind of seen that already throughout the night. That's pretty much when Converse gets to the front. Is he kind of just waits for these guys to burn their stuff up, and then he's able to just slide right past them to the front, and then he keeps that gap open, a pretty large gap. So.
We'll see if it works out for him or not. Here comes Quisenberry with a little bit of a run to the bottom side of the 91. A little bit of, it wasn't like an intentional block, but 91 went down there and kind of blocked that from happening. Quisenberry down on the bottom again. Guys are definitely pushing very hard. They're opening up the gap. About 2.4 seconds now back to Converse. Quisenberry lost some time there, so as the laps continue to wind down, now just 40 laps to go. It's just 40, but it's still 40 laps, and these guys are running pretty hard.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell. And then with Hearn trying to block Quisenberry, that's definitely gonna, do some damage to the tires as well. So, I mean, Quisenberry's fallen off a little bit right now, but I mean, if he's able to get right back on the back of Hearn and try to get around him, I think we're gonna see where Hearn's gonna possibly try to block him again. But I mean, I could see them doing this, and then Converse just making his way up there.
Well, it all depends. There's sometimes drivers, like I said, sometimes drivers can find something and it doesn't affect the tires as badly as just going out there and running crazy hard. Sometimes you just hit something right and you're not burning the tires up in the wrong spots, and that may or may not be true, but every Converse is 3.8 seconds back now, so these guys burn their tires off completely. He'll make that back up, but once you get back there 4 seconds like he is right now, he is 4 seconds off the lead. I mean, those front guys, their tires would have to really give up for... Oh, the 166 almost got in the wall there.
Oh yeah, and Converse, his now he's further back. He's 4.4.
4.6 now, actually 4.7. So I don't know. I think Aaron Hearn may have found something on the track, and I mean, he is just pulling away now. It could go, we could get to 100 and he could fall flat on his face. So you just don't and you just don't know. But it's continuing to build this 4 point. It's now 5 seconds. So once you get that far back, 5 seconds, sometimes it's hard to make that back up, even if the guy's tires up front kind of fall off. If he doesn't give up too much, you know, if he's giving up a tenth a lap, you know, there's 10. I know, I mean, this is dumb math. Sorry for everybody out there, but you have 10 tenths in a lap. So if the guy up front only gives up a tenth a lap, and there's 40 laps to go, and you're 5 seconds back, and you're only making up a tenth, then, you know, you're gonna fall 1 second short. So we'll have to wait and see what it comes down to. Sometimes you can think that you're saving, run too easy, and actually burn up the tires. Now I am watching it, and it is coming down slightly. We'll check it at the line and see what he's making up per lap, and see if he makes up more as the laps go on. So we'll continue to watch this here, kind of try to make a prediction. At the line, he was 4.3 seconds back. So if he's 4.2 seconds back at the line this time, there's, you know, then there's that tenth that I was talking about, and there's 30 laps to go. So still 4.3. Actually, he lost some time in that corner, but now he's 4.4 at the line, 4.483. Back to 4.3, back to 4.4. There's something that Converse is doing that he's just not making the time up like he was earlier. Back up front, we'll take a look at Aaron Hearn. He seems to have the car under him pretty well. He may have figured something out. He is 1.1 seconds in front of Landon Quisenberry. I think they've kind of both settled down, and they're just running now, and they don't seem to be losing all that much to Jeffrey Converse. Maybe track conditions have changed, but Jeffrey is not as quick as he was earlier. He's just not making up the time. That lap, he was 0.2 faster. So maybe this is where he comes on now. Maybe maybe he saved early, and here he comes. We'll see. I'll watch the times. I'll actually watch the lap times, because the lap times will tell me more than the tracker thing in front of me. So he was 0.2 of a second quicker again that lap. So with just 25 laps to go, 0.2 a lap, he's going to be there, but it's going to be within the last few laps if it continues at this rate.
Yeah, it shows that he's currently like 3.9 seconds back.
Yep. So consistency is counting. That was about a tenth, a little less than a tenth that lap. Aaron Hearn is consistently running like a 25.024, kind of right around in that range. He's been running that pretty consistently for the last few laps. Been in 25.03. Wow, he just ran a 24.8 on that lap. We'll see what. And Converse ran a 24.06, so the gap opened back up. So Converse definitely not in the same situation that he was in earlier. The gap for Quisenberry kind of staying right there at about 1.3. I think he's kind of, I don't want to call it mirror driving because he's behind Cameron, but I think he's mirroring what Cameron's doing. I think that he knows that Cameron's putting down a pretty decent pace, and he's just kind of following the same line that Cameron is running. And by doing so, he's actually starting to close in on him just a little bit.
Right. He's currently like 1.2 seconds back. So,
Yep, I think
oh,
maybe the cloud cover.
it's actually dropped now. He's at like 7/10 of a second. So,
Yeah, I think the cloud cover might have had something to do with what was going on, because now Jeffrey Converse is making up time. He's 3.4 seconds back, but we have 20 laps to go. He's got time. We'll see what his lap times are like. They were very close that last lap. Looks like the cloud cover kind of came back in again. It was a little bit brighter last lap, and it kind of seemed a little bit cloudier. Now we got some sun on the front stretch, so we'll see. 25.0 Converse maybe cut about a tenth off. I just don't think Converse can get there. I'm really shocked, because I thought that the way that Hearn took off, that there was no way that he was going to be able to stay up front.
right. I mean, because we saw that previously, where when Hearn took off like that, he just burned his tires up and he just kept falling back, losing positions. But somehow now, and like you mentioned, it could be track conditions that's made things change up a little bit. So,
And I noticed Converse is running a different line than what he was before. Now he's struggling. He caught the apron coming out of turn 3 and out of turn 4 there. He's kind of washing up the track, kind of more of a diamond. Just caught the wall on the back stretch twice. He's fallen back to 4 seconds. Aaron Hearn just did a 25.065 for his lap time, and Jeffrey did a 25.3, so he actually lost 3 tenths. 17 to go. Quisenberry has fallen back from that 7 tenths. He's back to 1.1. Kind of walked through the field. Eric Casper down pit road a couple of times. Now he's sitting there. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. Murata is back in the 6th position. He is 14 seconds back from your leader. Leonard Frost is 12.6 seconds back from your leader. Bergante is 9.8 seconds back. Jeffrey Converse 4.2 seconds back. Does not seem to be closing with 16 laps to go. Quisenberry 1.2, 1.3 seconds. We've seen him have a couple of little sprints where he closes the gap and then he kind of falls back. Don't know if he's got anything left in the tank for Hearn or not, but he's 1.2 seconds back, and Aaron Hearn with this really strong showing in this last section or stage of this race, with just 15-14 at the line. Pretty interesting here. I don't think that they have to pit. I haven't seen anybody give any kind of signal that they're gonna need to pit for any reason. So
right. And normally their fuel percentage is lower. And like tonight, it's at 80%. It's normally lower than that. It's normally 70. So these guys are actually able to run a little bit longer than normal. So yeah, I mean, the only person that came down pit road was Eric Casper, but that might have been to fix damage. And I don't think that would have really been for a fuel stop.
well, barring a caution, I believe that this is going to be determined by Aaron Hearn, and probably Aaron Hearn alone, as long as he stays off the walls, keeps the car underneath him. Quisenberry could catch him on speed alone, but from what I've seen out of Aaron, he's been so consistent. He's been running basically right around the 25-second mark. Jeffrey Converse 4.4 seconds back, just not making any distance up at all. Aaron Hearn is going to turn into a robot all of a sudden. He's just consistently. That lap was a 25.193, and that could be a slight little hiccup, or it could just be that the tires are falling off a little more. But he now he just turned to 161, so he literally ran at 160 and then a 161. Quisenberry ran at 276, so he falls back just ever so slightly. Jeffrey Converse actually ran a little bit slower, and he's now fallen 5 seconds back. So whatever Converse did early in the race did not work late for him. Aaron Hearn has shocked me because of what happened earlier, him falling back. I did not see this coming.
Yeah, I mean, somehow he was able to make it work this time, um, and I mean, he's just been consistent. For this portion of the race, Landon, I don't know, he's starting to fall back a little bit more. He's currently like 1.4 seconds back, so I'm not sure if he just doesn't, if he's just burned the tires and he just doesn't have enough to be able to close that gap between him and Hearn, um, or what it could be. But he's not making up any of that time.
Like I said, Aaron Hearn has kind of turned into a robot now. Quisenberry did turn in a little better, but it's just a fraction better. At this point, he needs a 10th plus per lap. He would have to run with just 6 laps to go. He would basically have to run 2/10 a lap to get back. Well, actually, more than 2/10 because now he's 1.5 seconds back.
Right, and actually, right when you mentioned that, Jeffrey Converse has fallen back like 6 seconds. So, and he was currently, before that, he was at like around 4, like right at 5, and now he's at 6 seconds back. So
Yeah, the car's still clean. I think he's realized that whatever his plan was just didn't work out. The track is something must have changed. Maybe the track. We'll find out. We'll talk to Aaron, and maybe Aaron was getting some advice from Cameron. Something, I don't know. But Aaron has turned into just a machine as he continues to open up that lead over Landon, now to 1.9 seconds over Landon, but still a good showing for Landon with his first year and not very long in the simulator, running in the second position. Not a bad night for him. I'm sure Jeffrey Converse probably a little bit disappointed. Hopefully it all turns out the way that it looks. We'll get a chance to talk to him. So we'll go to the back of the field here. Eric Casper, quite a few laps down, running in the 7th position. Joseph Murata, 16 seconds back in the 6th position. Andrew Bagante is in the 5th position, 14 seconds back. Leonard Frost running 4th. He's running 13 seconds back, excuse me. Jeffrey Converse now 9 seconds back, so something really has drastically happened for the 96. Quisenberry 2.2 seconds back with 2 to go. And Aaron Hearn, your leader, on the final lap now, going through turn number 2, coming out onto the back stretch, looking for that checkered flag coming up in the air as he goes through turns 3 and 4. He'll be looking up at the stand, see that checkered flag waving, and he is going to bring it home, winning here at the Monster Mile. Landon Quisenberry crosses in 2nd. Jeffrey Converse going to try to hold on to 3rd, and does. Leonard Frost will come across in 4th. Andrew Bagante will come across in 5th. Joseph Murata in 6th, and Eric Casper will finish in the 7th position. Give us a couple minutes, folks. We'll get the top 3 up here for interviews, and talk to them about their races. You'll hear from the winner. And yep, as I look down, I see Hearn Racing there, Rachel. If you'll notice that there's not one Hearn but two Hearns in that channel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do see that.
So
So Cameron was probably giving Aaron some tips
might
during the race.
might have been. We will find out as we get ready to do our driver interviews. We'll pull up the number 96 car here momentarily. We'll pull him up. We'll get a chat in with Jeff Converse if he's got a copy on us.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well, sir. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. Had a good time. That was a fun race.
All right. So, early on, you look like the dominant car, especially on the long runs. What changed there on that long run? Well, we kind of saw you let them go, or at least I thought you were letting them go, and then you were going to go back and try to run them down as you had done earlier in the night on the other runs. So, what changed?
I don't know if I was being played a little bit by Aaron, if he just saw me doing that those first two stages where I kind of saved my tires, let them go, walked them back down, and got a lead. Or I don't know if I just let them out too far and I couldn't bring them back in. Aaron ran a heck of a race, and so did the car in front of me. I mean, Landon. It was fun. I think I let him get too far out front, and then I think I burned my stuff up trying to get to him too quick. I was just going to do the same strategy I did on that second stage, but it didn't work out. So, yeah, like I said, I don't know if it was Aaron's strategy letting me do that in the first part and then doubling it up in the second half or what, but it was fun. Enjoyable. Learn something for next time I do this to do some things different, but it was a good time.
Well, copy that before we let you go. Got any sponsor shout outs, anything like that?
Nah, I just got to thank everybody for putting on a good race. I'd like to thank these guys for putting on this league for us and letting us come out here and do this. It's a good time, and appreciate you guys broadcasting for us and doing a good job.
Well, copy that. Congratulations on a third place finish.
Thank you.
All right, coming up in the booth, we've got the number 75, Landon Quisenberry. We're going to let Rachel go ahead and take this interview.
All right, Landon, it's Rachel and Ronald up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you. I'll 10-4.
All right. Well, so congrats on a second place finish. So how's it feel?
I mean, it's great. It kind of sucks to come up a little bit short, but I mean, I probably wouldn't want to have it any other way. Aaron ran a good race, and he deserved that one. I think that was his first first series win, at least I know, for the X series. He's a good racer, and I mean, I think it's unfair for him too. I mean, especially with Cameron being his brother, I think it's totally unfair to compare the two and say who's better. I think he's his own person, so he's just as good as everyone else that runs. But this number 75 Burger King Toyota Supra was all right. I got to lead some laps. That was pretty cool, but burned out the tires there at the beginning, and I'm glad I did, because it helped me just try and remember to save for the rest of the run and the run coming up. And I'd save better than Aaron that second run, but he figured something out, and I just couldn't run him down at the end. He made a couple mistakes, but he did a good job of just keeping me at bay, and I just couldn't get to him. His mistakes were just so minuscule, and he kept them so light that I just couldn't get to him at the end.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I was gonna ask you, if maybe, you might have burned your tires up or something that you weren't able to catch him, because I noticed both, for most of the night, you guys were kind of staying pretty close to each other, but, you started falling off towards the end, and so I had a feeling it might have had something with tires, or Aaron just figured out something that nobody else figured out, so.
Yeah, he did an excellent job of saving his tires there at the end. I'm surprised Converse didn't get up there at the end. He was super fast, and he was good on the long run, but I think track position was really key tonight, and staying up in front of people. You were just able to control yourself a lot better, and overall, it was just a good night. Couldn't get there at the end. It's great. I thought, maybe I could get it. First iRacing win I ever had was, I just had the lucky number 4. First iRacing win I ever had was in the 4 car. Won my 4th start in the Cup Series in Michigan. That was crazy. I still can't believe that. And I thought maybe I could get my fourth Xfinity so I could get a win, but I just couldn't get it done.
Well, I mean, you can't complain about coming out in second. I mean, the top three is still good.
Absolutely. I'm kind of speechless. I'm just a little bit. This track is tough, and it was really fun to do.
Right. So, once again, congrats on your second place finish. You have any sponsors or shout outs you wanna say before we let you go?
Yeah, just shout out to my parents. Like I said, once again, can't thank them enough. Thanks to all the admins here at LSRL for taking a chance and letting me run. Wilder Graphics, Families Fighting Flu, you guys in the booth, and Extreme Sim TV. It's awesome. It's crazy to even be able to do this. And Cade, whenever he gets back and sees this, he'll probably text me again about getting the top 3 because I didn't even tell him he won, and he was really shocked about that. So it's been a lot of fun. Oh yeah, and then I remember the league just signed a new sponsor, so shout out to Butt Kicker as well.
All right. Well, you go celebrate your second place finish, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
All right, and joining us up in the booth now is the number 91 of Aaron Hearn, and as you all can tell, he's a little excited.
First win, baby! First win.
So how did you guys pull the switch? Was like during the stage? Did Cameron jump in there? No, I'm just messing with you.
Cameron jumped in after the second stage. He jumped in after that second caution. He jumped in. He said, "Where you at? I'm about to spot for you." So I'm second right now. The second stage just ended, and he watched me run a few laps. He's like, "You're not pushing it hard enough, man. You're not pushing it hard enough into the corners. You need to do this." And as soon as I started doing it, it was like, it took 5-10 laps, and then he was like, "You got it, man. You got it." And then I pulled in first, and like from then on, he's like, just monitoring my turns and everything, just in my ear, telling me to calm down. And I was looking at the relative times, and I was worried, and I saw they were catching me, and then he's just like, "No, dude, you're running fast laps. You're running fast laps. Don't mess up." And I did make a few mistakes where I either bumped a wall or I got on the apron, and he was like, "No, man, like you're running good fast laps." And like honestly, I'll be honest with you, Cameron helped me win this race. I mean, he's helped me run good races, since day one. It's just this race, it was the first race he was in my ear, and he's not the one trying to win the race. If he was been out here, it'd have been a whole different story. It would have been me trying to catch him. But he told me how to run the turns, and instead of getting slower, instead of losing tires, I ran consistent fast laps. And I can't tell you guys how excited I am right now. I mean, this is the first race I've ever won. And I mean, if you could have pulled me into the chat as soon as I crossed that checker line, your eardrums would have been busted right now. So,
well, we can hear it in your voice. And so, speaking of first wins, I'm not going to tell you about mine, but did you have to hold your leg down?
Oh, my
was your foot bouncing on the gas pedal?
Oh yeah, both my feet were asleep. My left hand I couldn't even feel it. I was basically had one hand on the wheel with like 5 laps to go, and it was basically at that point damage control. Like, don't lose too much time. Do not make a huge mistake. And, I tell you what, Cameron, like in my ear, that second half of the race, I mean, I was quick. I was quick the first half of the race. I mean, but I was burning my tires up.
Not like you were the second half. Sorry, buddy. I don't mean to rain on your parade, but you need to go watch the broadcast. I called you a robot.
I'm telling you, as soon as Cameron started spotting for me, I was fast, the first half of the race. But as soon as he started spotting for me, 3 or 4, 5 laps later, I was just running a consistent lap. And I could not understand at the time in my head why I was running these faster laps than I were and not burning up my tires. It didn't make sense to me, and I had to learn quick. I mean, I wanted to win this race more than you guys will ever know. I mean, I've never won a public race. I've never run a private race. I've never won a league race. The highest I've ever finished was, I think, third, and that was a long time ago in this league. And I knew starting in qualifying or practice I was fast. But just because you're fast in practice doesn't mean that you can run 125 laps without losing your tires. And so, I mean, I had a little bit of damage the first run. I had to pit, get that repaired, starting in fifth the second run. And from then on out, I was worried. And then Cameron came in and he taught me through it. I mean, honestly, if there's anybody that won this, helped me win this race, it was Cameron. And I mean, I've never had him spot for me like that. And it makes a huge difference, obviously, because the first half of the race I was running completely different, lines. And he comes in there, he's watching me, and he's talking to me, and he's calming me down, because I don't know about you guys. When the race first started, I couldn't even start because I was so excited to be in first. And any race that I'm ever in, if I'm up towards the front, Cameron's running with me, so he doesn't have the opportunity to really just talk to me through the race and calm me down. But this time it was just 100% focused on me, and he literally he guided me to victory lane. So I can't thank him enough right now.
Well, congratulations on your first win. Glad that we got to witness it here on Extreme Sim TV. You led 64 laps tonight, so I think you'll go down as the most laps led as well as the race winner. But it doesn't really matter how many laps you lead as long as you're leading that last one. But you did put on quite the clinic. We kind of, no joke, we kind of counted you out. And at some point it kind of clicked that I was like, wonder if Cameron is helping him, talking to him. And I never thought to look at TeamSpeak while we were doing the broadcast. And as the race finished, I looked up to drag you up there, and what do I see in that channel? Aaron and Cameron Hearn in the same channel. And we made a little remark about that before we pulled you all up in here. And that's nothing, you got to learn somehow.
Yeah.
So you learned some things tonight, I'm sure, that
Oh,
you were
yeah.
unaware of, that will actually carry over into other races. And once you have that breakthrough, well, be careful, because it can become a waterfall after that. So I know you think, I'm sure you probably would love that. I
would.
I hope that does happen for you. But congratulations on the win tonight. Definitely go check out the replay, at least towards the end when we're talking, because to be honest, we had kind of counted you out. Like, you went out, you took off. I'm like, oh, here we go again. Aaron took off. And then you just kept pulling away, and I'm like, whoa, this is not good, man. He's gonna fall flat, or something's changed. And then you held it, and then we were like, well, okay, something's changed. Maybe he figured out, how to run into the corners and whatnot. And it doesn't matter how you figure it out. We all get help. That's how we get faster in iRacing. So congratulations on your first win. Give you a chance for any shout outs that you'd like to throw out there. First time winner.
Oh yeah. I mean, let's just be straightforward right here. I would not have won this race if Cameron would have not came and spotted for me. I mean, that's honest to God. I would have ran the same line the whole entire race, and I probably would have got close to the front and fallen off because of my tires. But Cameron, he was running. He's actually in the race for, trying to run, I think, for like the $100,000, increase his iRacing rating and get there. And instead of, running another race, he came in here, he spotted for me, and he talked to me through every lap. And then we got towards the end, he just, quiet down. Like, he knew that I was kind of like in a rhythm, and he just let me run my race. And then not until, white flag to go did he tell me, you're about to win this race. And I couldn't tell you, like, I was shaking. I was, happy. I was ecstatic. I couldn't believe it. So, this is a huge shout out for Cameron. I mean, he is one of the best drivers that I watch sometimes, and his moves are meticulous and they're planned. All the previous races you guys have broadcasted, I've watched multiple times. And if anybody's ever catching Cameron, it's because he's planning it. It's not intentional. And so I do want to point that out. I mean, he's the reason why I'm here now having this conversation. And I just thank my parents for watching every race. I mean, usually they're looking for Cameron to win. I'm pretty sure my parents now are just, they're going crazy for me. I mean, this is not a situation for me. I'm usually fast to begin races. I usually have some kind of fast lap, but I never know how to finish a race. And having Cameron there to talk me through the race, it made all the difference. And I do want to thank Michaela, my girlfriend, for letting me race these races, week to week. She lets me practice and she does not say anything. And after night, like, she knows how happy this makes me. And I'm telling you right now, like, if you could have heard me as soon as I crossed that finish line, you would have, I mean, you would have had to mute your computers. So I do thank you guys. I thank LSRL. I thank Anthony and Joseph and the admins for, doing this league. I think John, you know, telling me to burn up those tires when I cross the finish line and all that. And these guys have been nothing more than welcome to me into this league. And, for them to give me that opportunity to be here today, I love it. I love it. I love this league. I look forward to this every week. Wednesday and Friday, my schedule's cleared. If I have to get off work, I come straight home and I get into practice. And I can't thank them enough. And I know Anthony didn't have a scheme for me this race. And I know he's probably going to be going crazy when he hears I win this race. But, the scheme on Friday, that's the scheme he made me just because. And, I just can't say enough about you guys broadcasting. I know I've always been kind of in the shadow, definitely in the shadow of Cameron. And, to win this race means everything to me. And I want you guys, I would have counted myself out too if I was watching the race. If I didn't, I was watching from somebody's eyes because I was pushing it too hard and I didn't know how to run the track. But when it comes down to it, it's all about where you finish, like you said. And I happen to come home with first place. And, I'm ready for Friday.
All right, sir. Well, congratulations. Go celebrate that win everywhere you can. Call your friends, put it up on Facebook, do whatever you got to do. Enjoy it. Your first win's pretty special. I still have photos and whatnot of my first win for a league race. That was a big deal to me. I know how big of a deal it is to you. Enjoy it, my friend. It's been a pleasure broadcasting the race tonight. Thank you for putting on a great show and congratulations.
Thank you guys.
All right. Well, Rachel, we got the story. So it was definitely maybe a little bit of a better understanding of what he needed to do from his brother. My dog does not agree with me right now, so
Right.
But yeah, so your thoughts before we close this thing out?
Yeah, no, definitely congratulations to Aaron. I mean, with this being his first race, I mean, this is obviously a very sentimental thing, for him. And congrats to Landon and Jeffrey Converse, for being in the top 3. Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, this is a big night for Aaron. Normally Cameron is up there and he kind of is in Cameron's shadow, but for once, he came out on top. So, congrats to him again.
All right, folks. Well, that's going to wrap it up here from Dover, aka the Monster Mile. Hope you guys enjoyed the broadcast. You can check out the Cup Series here on Extreme Sim TV on Friday evening. LSRL will be hitting the track. You can check out all kinds of racing throughout the week. Just hit the subscribe button. You'll get a notification, and plenty of racing throughout the week in multiple leagues. So thank you for tuning in. I hope you guys have a great night. I hope you enjoyed the show. Congratulations to first-time winner, Aaron Hearn, winning here at the Monster Mile. Have a great night.